This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Virginia McConnell.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you in need of a self-defense class? One might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Abigail Altier, with Clark's Self-Defense. How's it going?
Going so well. How's your day going?
Good. Yeah, we're excited to learn about you. And so I know that you're a student. Can you tell us more about Clark's Self-Defense?
Yeah, Clark Self-Defense is actually a family-run dojo. So Clark comes from the last name of Derek and Maj Clark, originally from Boston, Massachusetts. And they came down here 20, 30 some odd years ago and opened up the dojo. Their youngest son, Danny, also instructs at the dojo as well. And it's mixed martial arts.
Awesome. And then, so do you know how they got into the business?
You know, Derek was actually raised in like a mixed martial arts family. So one of my friends who's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu student, he kind of jokes and says that those families kind of raise each other. It's a generational thing for sure. So he's been doing it since he could walk, and as are both of his children who are now in their early 20s and late teens. So he's pretty much just been raised in that culture.
Very cool. And are there some myths or misconceptions in this industry?
1,000%. Well, being female, I can speak from that experience. A lot of times when people hear that you're in jiu-jitsu, there's a plethora of responses around that. So people either assume that you have to have some kind of experience or super high pain tolerance or be an extreme athlete, when in reality, there's any age, gender, and athleticism level can break into the mixed martial arts world. And what's beautiful about it is, yes, you work in tandem with other people, but you go at an individualized pace and you experience multiple different styles and skill levels. So that allows you to kind of learn at a very individualized level.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. And so we know marketing is the heart of every business. Who are you guys' target customers and how do you attract them?
Yeah, so Derek runs two sides of the business, really. So there's a huge focus on kids. There's summer camps and before and after care. But then he also works with self-defense on an adult level. And then there's the competitive level of martial arts. So it kind of runs the gamut, but I would say, like, because it is a family dojo, for instance, how I ended up getting into the sport was that my kids had started there. So I have two boys. And when my eldest initially got into it, it only took about 6 months of watching him do it. And I was like, I'm game. This looks like fun. And it's pretty addicting, honestly. It's a mental workout and a physical workout. And there's so many upsides to it, from the camaraderie between everybody, your kids being able to socialize, learning self-control, learning how to think under pressure. So it's just a really good culture to be a part of. But that's the biggest is, I would say, families for the most part.
Oh, I love that so much. And then have you ever thought about having your own podcast?
Well, Clarks themselves, potentially. I mean, I do tell Derek all the time. Derek and Maj, they're married, lovely couple. Down to earth, genuine, authentic people, and just like the sweetest hearts in the world. And then their son, Danny, they have two sons, one who's involved in the business, Danny, they call him Diesel. They are so much fun to learn from, and they all have different personalities that bounce off of each other. So they should definitely start their own podcast. And there's some stories that Derek can tell you from up in Boston. He's actually been a part of a lot of medical studies, and he's trained athletes that have competed internationally. So he has a lot of really interesting stories from just dojo perspective. Maj runs a lot of the kids side of the camps and the daycares, whereas Danny and Derek are doing more the actual classes of the mixed martial arts. So they have some stories that would be absolutely hilarious and shine a lot of light and also break down the barriers. Again, mixed martial arts can be very intimidating for a lot of people, and it absolutely shouldn't be. And so I think that they would pop off on a podcast for sure.
Yeah, you should let them know.
I will.
And then outside of work, what do you do for fun outside of class?
Outside of class, oh gosh, heavens. So I'm a boy mom. I've got 2 boys. They keep me very busy. I come from a farming family, so we don't sit still well. There's always projects. There's always something to be doing. Another reason why I took this pretty seriously to start was I'm in real estate. And so a lot of times I am by myself, and I'm 5'2" on a good day. So it's nice to have an idea of how to be able to defend yourself, and then how to be practical with that, and also just situational awareness. But hobbies pretty much revolve around my family for the most part, and just being outdoors. I'm born and raised in Florida, so I love all things being outside.
Okay, awesome. And Abigail, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about Clark's self-defense.
Well, the biggest thing is just how approachable it is. I mean, there are so many benefits to it, but I think a lot of people don't even allow themselves to have that conversation even internally, because they think they either have to be some like bulked up, insane, high intense, or you got to know the lingo, you got to have the outfits, and you really don't. I mean, the first, 2-3 months that I showed up, I was just showing up in like what I would normally go running in,
Right.
And Derek makes it so approachable, as does his son, Danny, where they really meet you where you are and walk you through what you're comfortable with. It does take time as far as like the mental piece. You do feel a little clunky at first, because it's not, for most people, it doesn't come naturally. So you're going to feel a little clunky, and then one day it just like clicks, and then you're sucked in. I don't know how else to describe it, but there's so much that you learn within the workout itself that applies across all bases of your life. So it's something that I think a lot of times, again, people hear mixed martial arts and they think that either you needed to be doing it since you were knee high to a grasshopper in order to understand, or you need to be some kind of like insane athletic person. And that's just not the case.
Well, that does sound very addictive.
You're local, you should totally come. It's so much fun.
Yes, I'll try and make it. How can our listeners learn more about Clark's self-defense?
So Clark has, he's on all social medias, and then he also has his website, Clark Self-Defense Sarasota. And if you're in and around like southeastern Lakewood Ranch, he's located off of Sarasota Center Boulevard in the International Trade Center over there. And it's very easy. You can even do drop-in classes. So he typically runs where your first week, completely free, come in, test it out, see if you like it, see what questions you have, come watch a class. That was a big step for me, was just to be able to see how everybody works together and what that actually looks like. And then be able to break in and see exactly what you want to do within the entire program.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Abigail, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and Clark Self-Defense the best moving forward.
Thanks so much. Virginia, when are we going to see you? You should come out.
I know. I'm going to come out soon.
Totally good. There's so many girls. We have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, and during school season we start at 8:30, but right now we start at 8, and it's a nice, easy, what we call friendly roll. Nobody's in there to break arms or anything. We're just there to have a good workout and a good time. And I'm sure you would very much enjoy it.
I'm sure I would. Yes. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsarasota.com. That's gnpsarasota.com, or call 941-949-1865.